What team was that? Did you recognize them? Because that did not look like the Knicks. Where was the defense? All night long. Non-existent. But the Magic's defense, it was active all night. The Magic, they were the more physical team, and they did whatever they wanted to do against the New York Knicks. And to make matters even worse, what happens at the end of the game? Jalen Brunson, the captain, goes down with injury. Talk about getting worse. Not only do you lose the game, not only do you get destroyed in the game, at the end of the game, you lose your superstar point guard in Jalen Brunson. This is unbelievable. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. This episode is presented by FanDuel. We have a goal of trying to reach 40,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content, please hit that subscribe button. And now, let's get started. The Knicks bench starters in the fourth quarter. Fatigue, tired legs, lack of focus. I'm not sure what it was, but the Knicks were completely outplayed. Orlando, they had a game plan, and they executed it perfectly, and that led to them getting the victory. As you can see here, the Knicks were completely outplayed, blown out in this game, 124 to 107. And shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for giving us this updated information and these latest odds on who was supposed to win last night's game between the Knicks and the Magic. And as you can see here, New York were slight favorites to beat the Magic last night. But unfortunately, the game did not go their way. The game did not go their way. Now, normally, when I'm talking about the game, I'm breaking down the quarters. But today, I don't think that's necessary. I'm going to break down the halves because it's so easy to do it. The first half, New York scores 42 points. If you guys remember, against the Grizzlies, New York scored 42 points in one quarter. But against the Magic, they are only able to put up 42 points in a half. And you want to know why? It's because they were completely outplayed in the paint. The Orlando Magic, they were more physical. They played such good defense. They were trapping the Knicks, making it hard for the Knicks, forcing turnovers. But even more than that, they were taking away the passing lanes for New York. That means that the Knicks, they could not freely move the ball around like they normally do. So that means they were more of an ISO ball team. And when the Knicks were playing more ISO ball, they got taken advantage of. The Magic did whatever they wanted to do. They were driving inside, getting contact, getting to the line, driving inside, sometimes with no resistance, easily getting to the rim. Other times, and honestly, this happened a lot in the second half because they were hitting their threes in the second half. They were penetrating and then drawing the defense and then spraying it out. And almost every single time they sprayed it out, they found an open shooter. And almost every single time they sprayed it out, they found an open shooter. Now, there's a reason I'm mentioning this. This trend of the Knicks allowing other teams, opposing teams, to get wide open threes, this has been the case since preseason. I've called it out since preseason. And you know what they told me at preseason? Relax. It's only preseason. And then now they're telling me, relax. It's only the regular season. It's only 5 games. Then it's only 11 games. Soon, it's only 15 games until it's 25 games. And then they're going to say, oh yeah, you're right. You did say that. The Knicks are playing horrible three-point defense. I believe New York ranks as one of the bottom teams in defending the three. They allow so many threes from the opposing teams. Even teams that are not supposed to even be good at shooting the three. The Memphis Grizzlies, you think they're a great three-point shooting team? They're not. But the Knicks, they allowed them to shoot 36% from three because when you're wide open, guess what? You can hit threes against the Orlando Magic. Desmond Bane, Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Wendell Carter Jr., all of these guys, wide open threes, and they're hitting them one after the other, and the Knicks can't do anything about it because when they take away the three, they're driving inside and getting contact. If you try to take that away, they drive inside and then they spray it to an open shooter. And that shooter is so wide open, 9 times out of 10, they are hitting that shot. The Orlando Magic, they did that all game long. In the first half, their three-point shots, they really weren't falling. But in that second half, they started to fall and it started to destroy the Knicks. At halftime, the Magic were up 20 points, 62-42. And after halftime, yes, the Knicks tried to come back into the game. Yes, they tried to make a run. In the third quarter, they cut it to 11. In the fourth quarter, they cut it to single digits. They were only down 9 points. But then another wide open three for Jalen Suggs. Bam, that's the dagger. A few plays later, Anthony Black, he gets a wide open three. Bam, another dagger. That's a 15-point lead for the Magic. And after that, the Knicks cannot do anything about it. But there's another reason why the Magic completely dominated the Knicks. And it's because they looked for the mismatch almost every time inside. Who did we see? It was Jalen Brunson or Deuce McBride or Jordan Clarkson. And they were always on a bigger player for the Magic. Franz Wagner, he went off against the Knicks. Talk about destroying inside. Yes, he was hitting shots outside, but he was also hitting shots inside almost every time, driving inside, taking Jalen Brunson all the way to the rim and either drawing contact and going to the line or finishing easily because he had the mismatch. He had the advantage. He is bigger than Jalen Brunson, so it's much easier for him to shoot over Jalen Brunson, and he was doing that all night long. That's how the Magic were able to dominate the Knicks in that second quarter. And they only continued to do that for the rest of the entire game. Guys, it got so bad out there in the fourth quarter that Mike Brown benched 2 players that normally would be out there in the fourth quarter. And one of those players that he benched was a starter. Shout out to Steph Bondy with the New York Post for giving us this following information. As you can see here, Mikal, Brigdes, and Josh Hart, 2 core Knicks players, were benched for at least most of the fourth quarter in Wednesday's 124-107 loss to the Magic. Hart didn't play at all in the final period. The second game in a row, he's collected 0 minutes in the fourth quarter. Mikal Brigdes logged just 1 minute in the fourth quarter and couldn't explain the reason. According to Brigdes, I'm not sure. But you know who was sure? Head coach Mike Brown. And he gave this reasoning on why he went with Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet to close out the game. Shout out to SNY's Ian Bagley for giving us this following information. According to him, Brown went with Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup on Wednesday and had Miles McBride in over Mikal Brigdes to close the game. According to Brown, here's the reason why. Yeah, I was just trying to spark something defensively. Offensively, Deuce hit a couple of threes. I thought he was pretty good defensively. Same with Landry. I thought he was pretty good defensively. He hit a couple of shots. So I was just trying to go with, find the combination that I thought could possibly get it done on both ends of the floor. Just searching. Brown clearly isn't afraid to try different combinations of players as he feels things out with his team. Here's another reason why Josh Hart and Mikal Brigdes didn't play in that fourth quarter. It's because they were ineffective during the game. Mikal Brigdes has been one of the best players on this team for the entire season. But last night, he was taken advantage of on defense. He could not score. He was missing his open shots. It just didn't make sense to have him in the game in that fourth quarter. So I understand fully why Mike Brown did not go with Mikal Brigdes. With Josh Hart, he was having a very bad game to start off. I believe in the first quarter, Josh Hart himself had 3 turnovers. It was not a good look for Hart. He looked lost out there. A lot of times on defense, he didn't look like he knew what to do, and he was getting taken advantage of inside. He was not showing any resistance to any Magic players trying to drive in and score. So Josh Hart really was a non-factor for New York last night. And if that's going to be the case, of course he's going to ride the bench. And say what you want to say about Landry Shamet. In that third quarter, where the Knicks are trying to get back into the game, he was hitting big shot after big shot after big shot. He was driving inside, finding so little space, creating in that space, and scoring for New York. And that's why in the fourth quarter, he was closing the game for New York. It's not because Mike Brown favors Landry Shamet. It's because last night, Landry Shamet was actually doing something on both ends of the floor. And because of that, he was in the game. So you can't really hate on Mike Brown for that. We already went through so many reasons why the Knicks dropped this game against the Orlando Magic. But when you take a look at the team stats, those reasons, they're going to become glaringly obvious. Now it's time to review the team stats. Like we always do, we're not going to review every single stat, but we are going to take a look at the stats that I believe made the Knicks lose this game. And number one on that list is three-point percentage. The Orlando Magic are not a great three-point shooting team, but New York allowed them to shoot 36.4% from three and allowed them to get up 33 attempts. They also shot 48.8% from the field. Conversely, New York only shot 44% from the field, and like I said before, shot 30% from three, and they put up 36 three-pointers and only made 11 of them. And a lot of those threes, they were not great threes to take. Some of them were very contested. You don't take threes like that. You have to move the ball. But as I said, the Magic and their defense, they took away those passing lanes. Something else we have to take a look at. Look at the rebounds. 49-37. The Magic dominated New York on the boards. That normally doesn't happen. And normally, if the Knicks are not shooting the three ball well, what are they doing? They're rebounding well. They're getting second chance opportunities, and they're able to stay in the game. Against Orlando, no, that was not the case. The Magic, they were still out rebounding the Knicks, even on the offensive rebounding end. It was 12-10. And then free throws. The Magic make 28 out of 33. The Knicks only attempt 23 and make 18. They need to get to the line more. They need to attack. If the shot is not there, then you need to attack to get to the line. But for me, this last stat is the main reason why New York lost against the Magic. The team assists. The Magic had 29 team assists. The Knicks only had 20. Over the course of this win streak, what have I said each and every time? The passing, the ball movement, the team assists. During this win streak, New York had almost 30-plus assists as an average for the team. During this game, they are 10 below that average. And of course, when you're not moving the ball, when you're not making threes, when you're getting dominated on the boards, you are only going to lose that game. And New York, they got obliterated in that game. And we have to talk about it and take notice of it. The Magic, even though their record doesn't really show it, they're going to be a very good team in the NBA this season. There are going to be other teams like the Magic that are going to do this to the Knicks. And if that happens, what is New York going to do? Is the same thing going to happen again? Or are they going to change it up and make the moves they need to never let this happen again? That's going to be on Mike Brown and this Knicks team. New York will take on Orlando once again in 9 days. And during that game, we better never see anything like we saw during last night's game. That was an absolutely pathetic performance for a team that wants to go all the way to the NBA Finals. That is not how you play. Back to back, not back to back, tired, fatigued, whatever it is, whatever it was. If you want to win a championship in the NBA, you cannot come out during any NBA game and look like that. They look terrible. And when you look like that, you're going to lose the game. Exactly what happened. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks getting blown out by the Orlando Magic 124 to 107? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.